suck,
and that's sad.
An
AEW
wrestling
podcast
of wrestling news.
Hello and welcome to You Suck and That's Sad, an AEW podcast. This is Jesse. I'm here with Matt.
Like I was saying, these computers are terrible, though. I tried recording.
Oh,
I
fuck off.
digress. Go on. Okay. Next up, TK.
And I'm TK. Hello.
Yeah.
And our producer, Phil, who just had a birthday.
What's that?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
But now we'll go back to Matt bitching about his Alienware laptop.
No, I'm done.
Oh,
You know what? Like, if Alienware isn't going to sponsor this podcast, I'm not going to talk shit about them. It's as simple as that. So,
well, wouldn't you want to talk shit if they're not going to sponsor us?
people come to us and subscribe to our Patreon because of our honesty. I'll take their money and they'll take my guff because I got plenty of guff to give when it comes to Alienware laptops. And their customers, I got stories. I could record a podcast all about how much of a pain in the ass it was to buy this computer. I talked to 17 different people from 13 different countries, 2 of which may not even exist anymore. By the time I finally got to somebody who, ironically enough, spoke English better than me, but was just so sick of me 2 minutes in that they just gave me the deal, gave me the offer. This is the 4th iteration. I had to send the first 3 back because they all overheated. This is terrible. It's all been terrible. And this one's terrible. Everything's terrible. It sucks and that's sad. Grrr.
I remember living through that in real time.
I griped too.
Yeah.
Lots of griping.
I
just
remember.
Want to turn on my brand new laptop. I use it at work. I come home, take out my cute little bag and open it up, and it doesn't work. And now to this day, when I push the power button, I have anxiety. Like, will you start? Will you? And they got a little delay too. So it's a second and a half of pure boner splintering anxiety. And then it turns on and fucks me in a different way. Alienware laptops, kids.
I thought that was part of the Full Gear review already.
No, Full Gear review wasn't nearly as exciting. I felt things during this Dell saga. I didn't feel many things during Full Gear. Rage a few times. There was some smiles. There was joy.
That overcrossed.
Yeah.
0-star reviews. Okay.
I don't think anything got 0 for me, but you guys, this is the Full Gear episode. Full gear up, boys, because we're full gearing up.
Years.
I
didn't rank anything.
That's fine. I gave everything hearts.
Well, that's usually what we do. We go with the hearts by Matt.
We're going with the hearts. Well, boys, any news in the interim before we get to the pay-per-view? Anything we want to talk about before we launch the YSATS You Suck and That's Full Gear podcast?
CM Punk has 3 new shirts out.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards teamwork, and we'll get there later, but either this is a work
I know
or
that,
the elite are, or everything he said about them.
New shirts, new action figures
too.
Yeah, I don't think that's for tonight. It's a thing.
That's for our episode called I Fucking Told You So.
Well, I mean, it's still a work. Like, we can't pretend that we didn't get worked. Like, it's always been in the back of the mind because it's wrestling, but
working into a shoot, brother.
If everything after the scrum was a work, then it's magnificent, and everyone involved from Flexo to the Bucks Young deserve all the kudos and credit on earth.
Yeah. We can. Well, we just gotta wait and see.
On earth. Well, what we don't have to do? Wait to get going on Full Gear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we didn't. So today we're actually just gonna go over Full Gear. Did you already say that? And I just spaced out.
A little bit. You said it.
I think you did.
And then I said it. I colonized your comment and made it mine.
Okay.
And today we're going to be reviewing Full Gear.
Yeah, well, then Matt went to his rant, and then I got railroaded, and I was like, oh, okay. Did I already say that or not? I just couldn't remember because I'm old.
You know, my computer, though, does have really pretty lights all over the keyboard. I like that. I think they put that there to soothe, words like me. So, like, when I get into my tard rage, I see my lights and I'm calmed. Because that's the only reason I'm even here and talking. And my computer isn't in a million pieces. I can
My
mention
keyboard lights are on too.
well, see, we can talk about Tard Lights because they do sponsor us. But the commercial break is later, so we'll get to that.
The tardigrades.
That's on the Patreon.
Uh-huh. That is on the Patreon. So pre-match, match one was fun. Best friends and Danhausen, but Meanhausen.
Evilhausen.
Very
I was gonna
evil.
say, is that
very
very evil?
I think he's going after Evilhausen. I think that's what he calls it. And we had what? Rocky Romero and the full best friends, right? Yeah, those fun.
Yeah, we got Nick Camarado eating a bunch of teeth that were jammed down his throat, and that was great.
Well, somewhere there in the pre-show of an AEW pay-per-view that they call Full Gear was a little guy from New Japan called Rocky Romero.
I really feel like Orange Cassidy, when it comes to a lot of the pay-per-views, he's like the first match in the pre-show lately. I could be wrong. Well, no, I am wrong.
Yeah, he didn't get to wrestle on All
The
Out.
actual event.
Well, on All Out, he wasn't even on the show.
He got his good showing in at Full Gear, though.
He
He had that
appeared,
nice
I
DDT.
think, and did a promo with Pac. He challenged Pac for the All Atlantic on the show.
Yeah,
That's all he did.
He's been in some of the backstage segments.
Yeah,
because last year when I went to All Out, he was on the first match on the pre-show, and I was in line to get food and beer, and I missed the entrances, and I missed.
Wow,
I was just like, this is bullshit.
That's your
why
boy.
is he here?
You missed your boy.
Well, I saw him later.
Yeah, but that's the $369.99 Patreon tier steamy stuff. So we won't talk about that now.
But
you got Orange crushed, huh?
Oh yeah.
So what about the match? What are our opinions on it? Everybody like it? Anything fun? Anything spectacular? Anything spooktacular?
Dislike it, but Orange Cassidy looked great as always. He hit his awesome DDT because the teeth spot, as you mentioned, was really great. And I can
Danhausen finally getting to bring the teeth.
The Evilhausen waiting till the end to come out was pretty funny.
I really liked him coming out when he. I was just like, oh, this is great.
Like touting mystery partner, like everybody didn't know.
Well, everybody knew. A very evil.
He shows up when you expect him to show up. Yeah, that's good. It's good for
everybody played their part really
card.
well in that match.
I'm surprised that it took us almost a year to get the teeth.
Yeah,
that's cool though. It was cool. It was fun.
Slowly build it.
Anything different is good.
Dumb fun. Very fun, good, dumb fun.
Dumb fun. Speaking of dumb fun, what gap parts does that get on a scale of 1 to 5?
2 gap parts. Entirely watchable. That's good for a match like that because those kind of things really aren't up my alley. But this one positioned itself as just a silly match. This kind of was the comedy match. And it was a pre-show opener. And it served its role well. So quick little grading scale refresher. Refresher meaning telling you for the first time, obviously. 1 heart is Drek, but people were breathing and it wasn't like embarrassing or painful. 0 hearts, like I'm probably angry about it. I could probably talk to you 2 hours about it sober. But I'm never sober, so I'll talk to you for 5 hours about it. And 2 hearts is good, not even just average. I'm going to say good. 3 hearts is above average. 4 hearts is incredible. And 5 hearts is nearly unattainable. I think the only AEW 5 I gave was the first DBD, is it DBD Kenny? DVD Kenny might have been the only 5. And Punk MJF, the dog collar match was also
yeah,
a
you
5.
gave that one a 5.
Yeah. But I think those were the only ones. And you know, that's not like, ooh, look at me, I'm better than Meltzer. Like, I'm not like a braggart like that. But you know, look at my scale. It's better than Meltzer's, and I'm better than Meltzer.
It is just 1 through 5. It's
Mhm.
not.
There's no 6s.
No, yeah, there's no 6s. There's nothing better than that. Perfection is perfection. And it can look different, you know? Like there's a perfect lucha match out there. There's a perfect traditional wrestling match, and there's a Bucks match that can get 3.5 hearts and therefore be as perfect as they can get, I'm sure. So
Should we just call them hearts? Or do you want to do the Gep hearts?
well, let's call them hearts.
So we should bleep out the Gep part.
I don't care.
You don't want to have
you don't
fun with
have
that?
to you don't have to
Okay.
bleep it out. I mean, this is a again special preview because normally you have to subscribe to the our personal identity.
The
We call it the
$69.99
no
Patreon.
Mine's
Oh,
$699.99.
free.
$690.
Yeah, that's
Mine's
the docs
free.
tier. That's the docs tier. Yours isn't free.
Excuse
We have to beep your deceased twin brother's name all the time because I have fevered fits and can't.
Well, that's why
can't-
it's free. I just get a new one.
I can't not hear.
You're doing well today.
him.
That's 12 minutes.
I can't not hear your brother's screams. Anyways, let's go on to the next match. All right, we're going down dark tunnels here, and this ain't Willy Wonka. So let's talk about, was that Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks next? Not Ethan Page, Brian Cage.
Brian Cage. There
Ethan
you
Page is
go.
who he's got to wrestle.
One of the ages in
This Wednesday.
AEW. Cages,
Yeah.
pages, wages.
Stark still looks like he's actually hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt. I guess that's why he was off TV for that long. So that's good
like-
to know that he's not on the outs or anything.
It was a nice quick match. It progressed the story more. We had Ego on the mic talking about it and saying like, "Oh, I'm not worried about who wins this one. I'm just worried about who wins the actual championship match." Just disregarding them the whole time. Brian Cage did his thing, tried to do the flippy stuff, which he can actually pull off. Good match. Ricky was able to get through, got that Rochambeau. Nice little win. Enjoyable.
Yeah, it was fine. You know, Ricky Starks is always good, and Brian Cage is always Brian Cage doing the Brian Cage stuff. I don't think they worked particularly well together, but they made it through. And I love Ricky Starks. Yeah.
I mean, if Starks was healthy, maybe it would have been a little better.
It might have been, but I mean, I think Cage just,
Yeah.
he's just Cage. He wrestles
Yeah,
Brian Cage's match.
He's as robotic as I modeled myself off the prototype of John Cena as they get.
And like the reason big guys like that don't do flippy shit, and the reason it looks really silly is because the idea of like, well, I got 100 pounds on you and I look like I could pick you up over my head and break you. Now watch me do a moonsault. Like that's what?
Yeah.
No. Like against a bigger guy when Wardlow was doing it later in the evening, and he's doing it against a Hobbs and against a Samoa Joe, it looks a hell of a lot better. But
Yeah, that looked way yeah.
Cage is a monster, you know. It's just like, on the inside, I'm Riho, baby. And I no, you're not. I mean, maybe you are, but no, you're not. I gave that one 1.75 hearts. 1.75 hearts.
That's a lot more than I thought you would.
Yeah, I figured that would be about a 1 or a no contest.
I was
No,
thinking-
because I mean, again, like it wasn't embarrassing.
It was a match. It was
a
wrestling
match. I give it slightly less than good.
I was going to go with 1.5.
Yeah, makes sense. Same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I could definitely see that. Closing off the pre-show extravaganza was Eddie Kingston versus
Jun Akiyama.
Jun Akiyama. Thank you. I didn't write notes for any of the pre-show stuff. I didn't even know if we'd talk about it, but you know what? I'm feeling froggy and I decided to jump. What did you guys think of old Jun Akiyama in the latest Eddie Kingston versus his heroes from New Japan series?
I like it, but it's because I knew what I was going to get from watching it. And I said, I hope this doesn't go more than 10 minutes. And it's marked down as 10 minutes and 30 seconds. So it was the perfect length for what it needed to be. That's about as long as you want two guys to just beat each other up until one of them runs out of stamina. When you start going to the 20-minute matches, well, then they've had the 3 health bars and the 17 finishers and the yada yada. So I don't know. This did it for me. It was all right. It was an Eddie match, and Eddie loves fighting these people that are his like heroes growing up. When he mentions watching tapes and he pulls people out from 20 some years ago, 30 years ago. So I don't know. It's good for him.
Do you like it, Jesse?
It was a match
It
that I kind of spaced out on.
All
I
right.
was watching it and I was just like,
It was a match.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, you're fighting against your idol. That's amazing for you. Happy for you, but it's not progressing anything with Eddie.
Yeah, it's stalemate, Eddie.
Yeah, it's not helping him in any way. And that's where I was just kind of like, why are we doing this match? Are we doing Forbidden Kingdom again?
Were they in Jersey?
They were.
They were in Jersey.
So Eddie's from New York. I kind of get like, we need to get him on the card type of thing. But that's also why he gets
they're trying to do a
brand.
whole unhinged thing with him right now. And he didn't go unhinged in this match.
Yeah.
And even afterwards, he had a great promo. He got cut off.
He's always got a great promo.
Obviously. That was the highlight for me, was his promo after the match.
Yeah, he's as real as they get. He's so real because his wrestling character is wrestling is real. So
yeah, it's not a
so
work.
makes it so great.
It's real life. So yeah, that's kind of how I was with that match. I love me Eddie Kingston, but I just was not into it at all.
What do you think I gave it?
1 star.
2.5, baby.
Oh
That's
wow.
good. I gave it 3. So
It was my favorite of the Eddie Kingston fights as idol guys. They didn't have any stupid let's stand and punch each other for a minute straight, 10 minutes into the match spots. You nailed it on the length, being perfect. And his promo at the end really put it over the top for me. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't love all the match. It's clear the Jun Akiyama's best days are behind him, but it was competent and it was good. And yeah, I didn't hate it.
I also didn't know who that guy was.
I had never seen him. Yeah.
You had neither.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes I don't know the New Japan guys till I look them up, or sometimes you type their bio in and it's 40 years of history and it's I got something to read for a while.
Or just Kyle tells you about it.
Yeah, or I ask Kyle.
Yeah. Inside. That's on the $700 Patreon.
The docs tier. Yeah, you get all of our friends' information.
I get all my information from Kyle, guys. He, insider information. Kyle has it.
You see Kyle a lot, don't you?
No, not at all.
You look at his picture and then you see Kyle on the regular. You horrible person.
Yeah.
Now we enter the real pay-per-view. Assuming we all paid our money, we went ching and we brought out our credit cards and
I went to the Regal Theater.
We kissed the pictures of Flexo we have in our wallets.
Yeah.
I love my Bleacher Report and fight subscriptions.
Did you guys watch on YouTube?
Bleacher Report, as always.
Bleacher Report?
Yeah.
I went to the Regal Theater.
That's awesome. That's a lot of fun.
And Fight TV. You can get there too.
Yeah. Just got to use VPN. The NordVPN that we are not sponsored by.
YSATS VPN.
The VPN sponsorship we did have was through Kim.com, but we were advised by our lawyer that we should not. Our lawyer MAGA told us we should not go with that advertisement. So sorry, Kim.com, wherever you are, New Zealand, we can't run your VPN ad.
Maybe one day, but as of right now,
believe me, no. If you saw or if you heard why, just absolutely no. Let's go to the pay-per-view though. we opened with a cage, didn't we? A cage slowly descending on a squared circle. A square cage going on a square that's a circle. Is a wrestling cage also a circle, even though it's a square? What do you think?
No.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
square.
know. Okay. So it's a square going over a squared circle.
Correct.
Okay.
Sometimes
Very
an
good.
octagon, and sometimes it has 6 sides if it's, really out.
TNA. TNA. All right. It was Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They were going to blow off their chunk of the feud. At least I would think it's a blow off. Maybe it keeps going because Christian's
Hope it's
still hurt.
over.
But this would seem to be the end of their feud. Brother versus brother. Did it deliver for you guys?
It did not deliver for me.
No.
This match was pretty underwhelming. I felt like it could have been on the pre-show, and it could have been the main event of the pre-show, and it should have had like 8 minutes and not been a cage match. I don't know. I feel like it was clunky the entire time, and they didn't mesh together, which is baffling because they should mesh together very perfectly. Then I feel like it went on too long, and then the obvious Christian involvement just made it all dumb for me. I don't know. I was happy it was the opener and I got it out of the way, but I feel like they'll do more with it, and I don't like that even more.
Yeah. Yaxke, did you like the match?
I like the match.
All right.
I like to see the tombstone by Luchasaurus. I like that Christian Cage came out, opened it up, and it's like, oh, we're gonna involve some blood, a bunch of weapons. We're gonna just go all out for it. It should be the last match between Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. It won't be, but this should just like kind of build up.
Yeah, it should be for a while. Give him a year and then give him another match, and people be like, "Oh yeah, remember the cage match?" Instead
No,
of next month.
but this should just build up to him finishing the feud with Christian Cage and then moving on.
Yeah,
Because
he
that's what
finishes
needs to
Christian.
happen.
Yeah, he finishes.
Christian needs to
finishes
get
off
healthy.
Christian.
Christian gets healthy. They have their feud for maybe 2 or 3 months. The next pay-per-view, finish it out. And yeah, that's it. I enjoyed it. Jungle Boy didn't get hurt, thankfully, because Luchasaurus can be a little dangerous at times. And I had
Little
fun.
bit.
I didn't like it. I'm with you, Nick. It went on too long. Jungle Boy's comeback was like cut off almost 20 times. Like literally the comeback spot would happen, but then like, nope, Lucha's just gonna no sell a move and keep going. This is never gonna end. And then like in the midst of Christian watching this guy beat the crap out of Jungle Boy trapped in a cage, he's like, now that he's trapped and getting killed, I'll open the door. And that was really dumb too. Usually the heels are trying to open the door because the heel is getting his ass beat by the face, who's finally got the cowardly heel in a cage. No, this time it was like, oh man, this face sucks. This heel's gonna beat his ass. Uh-oh, my guy's winning. I better cheat. Huh? That doesn't make a lick of sense at all. And then, like, hey guys, we got one cage match on the card. Let's go ahead and try our best to make it indistinguishable from almost every other match by bringing in tables and weapons, because we always need tables, even though it's a cage, even though we are trapped here and we're going to force these guys to be in the ring. Fuck you. We're still going outside the ring. We're just going to do it all. And then at the end, Jungle Boy is just going to win for reasons. I gave it 1.5 hearts. Luchasaurus is good at being big and doing big guy stuff, but like he still just is so unnatural half the time between spots, and he sells like a jabroni. It's just not the kind of match you want him in, not the kind of opponent you want to do that. Like, keep it in a cage, have Jungle Boy get beat up the whole time, and then he pulls off a desperation move. And if you want him to start pounding Lucha on the ground and not even letting him back up, have him win like that. Just, less video games in my AEW.
Yeah,
I gave it 1.5 hearts.
Totally agree.
After that thing, we had the thing, one of the stories of the night, the return the return of the Elite. They were fighting the champs. So, of course, they came out for. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Coming to the ring first is Death Triangle, our champions, which I always hate. But especially right here, these guys are coming off a suspension. I know you want to do all the pomp and circumstance. You could still do it first. You are just like literally saying, hey, you know what? You know what? CM Punk can't be here because he thinks he's bigger than the company. Anyways, these guys are back and they're bigger than the company. So we're buying the Kansas song. We're doing their big intro first, second, after the champs come out, and we're just gonna go all out. What did you guys think of the Elite's entrance? Was it masturbatory? Was it appropriate? Was it awesome?
Gratuitous as fuck. I love seeing Kenny Omega, but other than that, makes me not want to watch AEW. That's all I'll say.
Jexkey?
Oh, you're waiting for me.
I'm always waiting for you.
Thank you. No, I didn't like it. It was. Come on.
We get 6
Come
more.
on.
We get 6 more for reasons.
And
so.
yeah, we're
not
that
there
for
yet.
the end, but like just so masturbatory, just so look at us, we are the guys, love us. And then to Nick's point, like the feather in the cap was then later in the night we get the news, hey guys, we're doing this 7 times, we're booking ourselves in a best of 7 here. So
they're gonna be on Dynamite every fucking week.
every week,
and that's
ooh.
I didn't want to get to that point yet.
Yeah, but we're there, and it's all part and parcel. It all is connected because I'm watching this, and I'm just talking about how masturbatory it is, how up their own ass they appear, and then to later get confirmation, like, oh, and by the way, like Schiavone just talked to me through the TV. He's like, Matt, we just want to let you know your earlier notes are correct. These men do jack each other off when they're not sucking their own dicks, and that kind of felt good. Until then, I remembered I was going to have to skip a half hour of Rampage, or not Rampage. I'd have to watch that to skip it. I'd have to skip a half hour of Dynamite every week. Unless I want to watch this match again, because it is going to be the same match every time, because this match was the same match that they've all had together already 2 or 3 times.
And what are they trying to be, the faces now?
They are the faces. If it wasn't apparent by the beginning, it was apparent by the end.
Yeah, I hope it was just crowd for that crowd. And not the next week. They're in Chicago on Wednesday. I hope they're not the faces in Chicago.
They're like the
they get
fucking
cheered in
WWE crowd, where we just love them. No matter what they do, we just love them. They can't do anything wrong. And I hope AEW fans are not going to be like that, because
it's going to vary city to city. I mean, it's going to vary city to city, and to be honest, that's kind of good. It is kind of fun when you have wrestlers that are cheered in one place and booed in another. And also when they're smart enough to react to that and change. It's death when they still are like, I'm the face. I know they hate me here, but I'm the good guy.
But why were they hating on Punk?
I don't know. I think I know last year or earlier this year when Punk was doing the feud. Yeah, he was doing the feud with MJF. That crowd was also really hot for him too.
That makes sense.
Punk was, Midwest and then like Philly area. That's as far as he got.
I didn't think about that
popularity.
With the New Jersey with the MJF and Punk feud.
So,
plus,
it makes
all
sense.
The people sitting close. You got to think this pay-per-view especially, and where it's at. Big Punk fans aren't dishing out big bucks to sit close and start that chant. It was probably a lot of Elite fans that wanted to come and see their return. So, I mean, power to them. Chant what you want. It makes it fun, especially if it's a work. But if it's not a work, oh boy. The fact that EVPs of a company were egging that on and then featuring it on their YouTube show. I don't know if you
they did.
saw that. Like, fine and dandy if it's a work, but if it isn't, and you guys are VPs and you're doing that in response to a guy calling you childish, well,
then you're being childish.
Like if the shoe fits, I guess.
Keep sucking those dicks.
I'm tired, and I work with fucking children. That's where I'm at.
I want that shirt. That's CM Punk shirt. That's AEW's next fucking CM Punk shirt.
It's a
Man.
really good.
I would actually wear that.
Fuck yeah. But the match, samey same, spot fest. I specifically wrote that the Lucha and Top Flight Shabazz on Wednesday was better than this match. I really feel that it was.
We knew exactly what we were going to get before this match started. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Each spot, each flip, each outside, everything that happened. And then the only thing that was surprising was the last 30 seconds when Death Triangle actually retained.
Yeah, that was surprising.
I expected Death Triangle to lose.
Yeah,
I know
did.
TK and I were open on it.
It's because Phoenix cheated. So.
And then hearing that it's going to be a best of 7, it makes total sense. Like, oh, okay. I for a minute thought, wow, well, you didn't put yourself over. That's good. So then they're like, oh, hold our beer. You wait. We're putting ourselves over 4 times.
And the belts mean nothing.
Yeah. Again.
Anybody else want a shot? Yeah, the division, like, what's the point of even doing it? Like, hey, well, these belts are held up. You're not getting a shot. The Elite just came back.
Yeah.
No other trios team matters anymore. Just those two. That's it. The belts were created for the Bucks. Death Triangle can hold them, and it'll be between those two teams for the next 18 months for some reason. Maybe
the next 6 weeks, because it's going 7 matches.
Of course.
It is.
Or it'll go 4-1 Bucks.
That would be, I mean, I'd take that, because then it'd be over.
Yeah.
It would just confirm, that I don't need to watch AEW anymore. I gave that match 1.5 hearts and was very glad when it was over. Did you mark the time, Nick? Was that an hour and a half or 2.5 hours?
18 minutes and 40 seconds.
That's it? Well,
wow.
Intro. So
I did watch the pay-per-view replay, so I also have in the notes, first 2 matches got Hardy 1.5 speed and fast forwards. Because they wouldn't end.
Just note before we start, we did 5 matches reviewed in the last half hour, and we have 8 to go for the next half hour. So for the ones that don't matter, I meant, so we can make sure we talk about the last couple.
Well, we're just gonna hold everybody hostage and do it till 11. I don't respect your time, Phil. Take that.
And scene.
Asshole.
Jexky, finish your thought. Sorry, everybody. We had a little internet outage. Some raccoons got into my garbage can again, and that's where I keep my router. Don't ask me why, because you don't subscribe to our $4.99.99 a month Patreon, so I won't answer. But we got the raccoons. They're gone. So we can keep podcasting again. It's been 8 hours. Do you remember what you were saying, Jexky? No.
Match number 6.
Okay.
No,
that one got
something.
1.5 hearts.
1.5. Yep.
After that, we had Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose for the TBS title. Jess, you were really looking. What?
Thunder.
Oh yeah, she was a Thunder because she was Chitara. Yeah. Yeah, she totally was. Yeah, boom. Took me a minute there. Went over my head because she's tall. This one was one you were really looking forward to. How did it work out for you? Uh-oh. Those raccoons are back again. Jesse froze. Oh, there he is.
No, I'm back.
All right.
No, it was everything I wanted.
Good.
Nyla came out. She got her ass beat. Jade won. 1, 2, 3. Is Jade going face though now?
It looked that way. Yeah, it sure did.
And that face kind
there.
It makes me think that Athena and Jade are gonna feud for a little bit next.
That would make sense. That would be good. That could get very physical. Might be good for Jade.
Oh yeah. Get rid of the baddies.
Yeah.
And like be a more dominant face
Yeah.
to like control the title more. But no, like good match, solid moves, smooth. I enjoyed it.
Well, I certainly didn't see a smooth match, but
Oh.
not at all. But you know what? It was maybe my favorite Jade match so far. It didn't necessarily overstay its welcome. It was her usual like 8 to 10 minute. Was it even 10? 8 to 10 minute pay-per-view length that they've been rolling
8
her out
minutes
with.
on the dot.
Yeah, that's I think where they shoot with her for the pay-per-views, which is longer than she goes on TV. But it didn't completely fall apart. She had somebody else big to work with, which I think helps her a lot. She sometimes looks like she's afraid of hurting people, which is better than the opposite, but can make someone who's already a little awkward and green look even more awkward. This wasn't that. This was awkward and bad for different reasons, but also good. I gave it 2.5 hearts. Nick,
What do you think, TK?
Oh,
This
God,
was
his
my
screams.
this was my heat up dinner match, so I came back during the next match's intros.
Oh, okay, great.
Remember, I didn't care at all about this
okay.
one. I have zero invested in either of their stories, and I hate fake title stealing storylines even more than I hate interim title stealing storylines. So I didn't care at all about this one.
So TK, your grade was transphobia out of misogyny hearts. Got it.
Nope, just no contest. I wanted to eat dinner.
Okay. Yeah, no, that match was no contest for your prejudices. That's right. All right. After that, we had the ROH Championship. This one was anybody? I think. You know what? I think TK and I both were halfway up the meter, excited for this one. And Jackski, you said you'd rather like suck a Stegosaurus dick than watch this, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
And what? So what now? Now that you sucked a Stegosaurus's dick and watched this, what was better?
The dick.
The Stegosaurus. Did it have those little plates going down the dick, or are those just on his back?
No, just on the back. They're a little more like they're rounded out on the dick.
Oh,
like
but he still has
spiky.
dick plates.
Yeah, but they're not spiky. It's just rounded out. So it's
How do you
smooth.
know that it wasn't dinosaur syphilis?
It could be.
The packaging said
We'll
so.
find out.
But I mean, do the doctors
syphilitic
know dinosaur syphilis?
Doctors don't know anything.
This
so
match was
exactly.
too long. This match was too long for me. It's 21
Just
and a half minutes.
get your dinosaur syphilis vaccine. You'll be fine. This is not an anti-vax podcast, and we're not some of those crazy weirdos that will tell you not to get vaccinated for dinosaur syphilis.
I mean, you should get vaccinated for dinosaur syphilis.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
Incel or not, because even if you're not trying to fuck a dinosaur, buddy, sometimes they're trying to fuck you, and good luck.
And you
good
really
luck
have no
getting away
choice
from that.
at that point.
Not with the dinosaur.
We really shouldn't talk like that.
But that is also the
Like,
review
no
of the match.
choice.
So that's the whole review of the match.
Which one? The ROH match? I didn't hate it. You guys,
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It was very fast paced, and that's what they kept up with. They did great spot movement going in and going out, and that's key to one of these matches. So I was happy with it. And I don't know. I figured Jericho was going to win because I didn't think they'd give it to Claudio or Sammy. And Bryan Danielson doesn't want to hold titles in AEW, he said. So I didn't think he was going to win. So yeah, it was a good match. It went a little bit too long. I would have given that like 15 minutes. They could have gone like 5% harder, and that match would have looked way like smoother if they eliminated a couple more of the outside spots. Then
they did.
But overall,
they kept most of it in the ring too.
And the background plot of Sammy might win this that creeped up like 3 different segments. That I think is what kept me in, because I was like, oh, I don't think they're going to give it to him. But every time he scored a near fall and his segment was over for the next couple minutes, then he came back and I'm like, oh, are they going to give it to him again? Oh, he's back. Oh, he's back. And then they did it again and again and again. Yeah, it was good.
That was a well-told story in the ring, and it was an entertaining match, and the result was probably right. And yeah, overstayed its welcome maybe a little, but I never got bored, and it didn't get the fast forward treatment. So I gave it three and a half hearts. 3.5
20-minute match.
hearts.
That 20-minute match
Wow.
that doesn't get a fast forward from you is a big
Well, if
3.5 benchmark.
it just means
now.
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 4-ways are usually trash, especially when they lean into the no DQ kind of stuff.
Usually trash.
Like they
But
weren't doing that.
You also did have DBD, Claudio, and Jericho.
Yeah, it's hard to have those three be really bad in a match. They can autopilot a match together. So
yeah. So it was good. They did exactly what they should have done.
I give it a 4 stars. That was pretty good for me.
I just didn't want a Ring of Honor championship match on my AEW, as we've complained about a lot.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the fake TBS title thing. I'm just
but that's actually a AEW title.
I know, but the
compared to a non-AEW title
storyline taking place on
oh, AEW. I love that storyline, and I wanted it. I like the end game of it. We're not going to backtrack on matches, so yeah,
good overall.
After that, we had the return of Paige. Saraya. Saraya J. Saraya. Yeah, Saraya is what oh wow. You know her. Okay. Yeah. You saw that movie, didn't you?
Actually, never did.
You never watched your pornographic films?
No.
I caught you in a lie. All right. Well, she wrestled Dr. Britt Breaker. Dr. Britt Breaker.
Dr. Britt Breaker.
Dr. Braun
Breaker. That'd be man.
Dr. Braun Breaker.
DMD would be wow. He's in a wig, and like when CM Punk came out in Britt's jacket, he does that. I'm like, well, Punk's gone. You need somebody else to wear the jacket. He's got it ripped in half, and it's like a little wrist bangles for him. What you guys like it?
This was a good match. I liked it. It was just over 12 minutes and really good timing and really good pace. I thought they worked really smooth together in the ring and didn't really have too many missteps. And she looked great for 5 years, no wrestling. And who knows how long she's been training, for the comeback. Could be months, But I thought it looked great and she looked great. So I can't wait to see what both of them do next.
I thought she looked blatantly and noticeably gassed for like the last 4 or 5 minutes of the match. She looked like somebody who hadn't been in there and maybe had forgotten, like, oh, holy shit, maybe even being a few years older. Like, wow, this is.
Yeah. It's like CM Punk's first match back.
Yeah.
She looked like a Twitch streamer going back into a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
After not wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, the fundamentals were there. The fundamentals were obviously still there, but yeah, she got gassed and kind of disjointed a few times. I wasn't sure whose fault it was the 2 or 3 times it happened, but it wasn't terrible. Noticeably working soft around that neck too. Like they did the neck breaker to the apron pretty early on, but it was safe as hell. And then the curb stomps, 2 curb stomps where the foot was just on the back, nowhere near the head or the neck.
Yeah.
And you got to be safe, sure, but at that point, don't do it.
Gotta be safe, but you gotta sell.
Yeah, like just if you can't do that, don't do it. And then if you are afraid to do that move, it makes me also afraid for Saraya. Like, how bad is this neck? What doctor cleared you? And please don't die on TV.
I wonder if it's just a worry though, not that like it's still so bad. It's like we don't want to test it. Like you don't want to test it.
But at the point, if you're at that point,
like you shouldn't be back in the ring.
Yeah, exactly. Like
yeah.
If it's that scary,
the difference between making it the target of the storyline and taking a neck breaker or any move where your neck moves, like if you can't do the latter, then
and then it's also like
see what happens.
That pissed me off a little too, because that's the natural story. Britt targets the neck, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I would have hoped they would have done something where that's where the match is going, where Saraya narrowly escapes move after move, and then maybe you hit the neck on the apron rather than Right off the gun, we're gonna do a move that would have like created a pin or a DQ 20 years ago, and your neck was broken. But like,
Stunner
let's just
pin.
do it. Yeah.
Just that I
Okay.
given her a stunner and pinned her.
Yeah. All right. I gave it 2.25 hearts.
Oh,
But
wow.
it was a
I gave it
pretty
2.
average.
I
Yeah.
gave it 2.
I gave a little bonus welcome back 0.25 hearts, and to fix the curve, that means Jamie Hayter's butt was worth an additional 0.26 hearts this pay-per-view.
We're not there yet.
We are at Joe versus Lowe versus Hobbs, though.
Oh,
The TNT title match. Did you guys know it was for the TNT title and just the TNT title?
No, I thought Samoa Joe's title was on the line too, and I got
Yeah.
really mad when it wasn't.
Yeah,
Like
I
halfway
didn't.
through, I was like, wait, it's only for one? There's 74 titles. Why shouldn't it be for both of them?
Just
And even
start
better,
unifying titles. Just start unifying them like crazy.
Well, he should
Call
like,
AAA and let them know their title is just their tag belts were just unified with the ROH tag belts. Sorry, tough
ours
luck.
now.
Yeah. Did you guys like this one? Did you like the big man meaty man match?
Yeah, big men slapping meat is always fun. I love these types of matches, and I feel like it went well, and the right person won. Except I wish Hobbs would have won, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm glad Samoa Joe won. Cool, let's get him going. But if Hobbs would have won, I would have been like, all right, cool. They're finally saying, let's go Hobbs.
Hobbs is literally the only one that could have. Wardlow would have gained a little by winning. Hobbs would have gained a shit ton, and Joe doesn't have anything to gain by winning. He's a badass no matter what happens. So
Yeah, he just becomes more badass.
yeah, and it's cool that he won. It wasn't like a terrible decision, but I'm with you. It would have been nice to see Hobbs win.
Yeah,
I was
feel
really
like
hoping
it's
Hobbs was gonna get.
Good.
I really thought Hobbs was gonna get the win. Like when Wardlow got the belt, it was lackluster because of the MJF stuff, and so like his title reign is kind of meh. They did a little bit with the War Joe, right?
Yeah,
A little bit.
Yeah, the War Joe.
That felt rushed.
Yeah, because they were trying to do something. I don't know what they were trying to do, but in what 2 weeks now or 3 weeks we get the Ring of Honor pay-per-view December 10th.
something like that.
Do we?
And like, is Joe gonna drop that title to somebody?
Who knows?
And
I think Joe will have it until Wardlow takes it off him again, probably.
There's a world, there's a peer, there's a TV, there's tag, there's trios, there's a woman's, there's
Unless
I'm
they
talking about
plan
the-
on rolling back Wardlow MJF at some point.
oh, that'd be fun. But
That might be why they did. I think we're gonna get Starks MJF a little series.
could be.
I
That'd be fun.
figured we get Ego versus
It'd be fun to have
MJF.
MJF do.
Well, then you got heel versus heel, and well, it is the firm though, so I mean,
Yeah.
you could, yeah, you
Like,
could,
that's a build to it.
yeah. There's you could go.
See,
either way. Yeah,
I'd
kudos to
like
you,
to see
Flexo.
Hobbs go after
see it
Samoa
either way.
Joe for the TNT title, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll get our savior Miro back.
Maybe, yeah, maybe someday. I mean,
I-
well, he was
yeah.
on the pay-per-view at the end. Did you guys watch the post scene?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, if we get to that, we'll talk about that when we get there. I watched it. I can narrate it for you guys.
I enjoyed the match. Three big beefy men slapping man meat.
Yeah, 3 beef patties for me.
They were big men. It was really good. I was impressed by all three of them. Hobbs is definitely in the conversation for most improved since first being on TV to now. Because the guy was always great looking, but he's just, man, the meat in between his ears, the wrestling, he's soaking it up. He sells like a champ. And he works really safe, but also everything he does looks like he's putting a hurt on. So I'm really impressed by where Hobbs has come, and boy, I hope he doesn't just get lost in the shuffle after this.
Yeah.
My only real quibble was, they want Wardlow to be the super also ultra babyface. You can't make your baby faces look super stupid. Like you can't. And
Yeah,
why
those
did
are-
you have him try to do a powerbomb symphony in a three-way? Like he tried to do a powerbomb symphony. Like at that point, you deserve to lose. One, that's a heelish thing to do, like period. But you kind of get away with it because it's your thing, and they usually have him wrestling weasels. But in a three-way match,
It
where
doesn't work.
and that's
Yeah.
literally what led to the loss. And then you had, of course, Joe use the title to hit Wardlow, and it's a three-way match, so there's no DQ. Like, keep that in your back pocket. Don't make Joe do that. Like, well, see, he only lost because Joe cheated. Well, yeah, he lost because Joe cheated, and also he was trying to murder somebody with a fourth or a fifth power bomb when he could have pinned him 2 minutes ago. So it's just kind of messy reasoning.
One last thing I want to say about that. I loved Hobbs's power bomb.
Yeah.
When you were talking about him doing his moves, like that
Yeah.
just stood out to me.
Yeah, he's
I
got
so
loved
good.
it.
He's got that force, that Arn Anderson, that Rick Steiner, that just I can slam you to the mat and it's
It's like that should win the match.
Mhm.
The way he did it and how he looks doing it. I was really like, it just stood out to me.
He's great, man. His facials, his selling, and that's selling on offense and taking moves. He's I look forward to seeing where he goes, but that guy's a star somewhere. If it's not AEW, it'll be WWE. He's gonna be a
I
star.
remember watching him as a face before he joined Team Taz on Dark.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this dude's got it. Just give him a chance. But no, that for me, that's what stuck out of the match was him doing that power bomb. Simple
good.
move, but it looked good. Enjoyable match too. So
3 1/4 hearts.
nice.
It was a good one. After that, though, we had the TNA tag title match for the vacated TNA tag titles.
yeah, that's it's kind of what this was.
Yeah, Jarrett and Lethal versus
And his son.
and Darby Allin.
And seeing Sting do some Sting stuff was really stingy. Like he did the Sting thing off the Sting thing and did the jumps and the Stingies. And he's like 94, so it's fucking great because when I was like 2, Sting was coming down from rafters and being cool, and now he can jump off high ass buildings and it's great.
You wish you were that young.
Shut up, man. Now this match was good.
Surfer Sting was not coming off of Raptor. Blade Runner Sting was not coming off of coming out of the rafters.
This
Real
was
to me, damn it.
This was so much better than Ric Flair's final match. And I'm really glad we got this one to make it so much better. Because I was there live to watch Lethal and Double J go against Flair and Andrade.
They said
we got Sting
and
his son doing the same match, but nobody passed out in the match halfway through. So
Jeff Jarrett is like he's a living optical illusion. There's certain like positions his head will be in and camera angles where it's like, God damn, dude, like you still look like you did when you were 40. And then there's other camera angles where it's like, holy shit, you're 65 and he's in his 50s. Like it's crazy. He could still move and work though. He can still do his Jeff Jarrett stuff, and Sting
he can still hit you with a guitar, slap nuts.
Yeah, Sting can not only do the stuff he used to do, but he also does a whole bunch of stuff he never used to do.
Like, the finish to this match with the double help Scorpion Deathlock, and he needed Darby's help.
Yeah, that was so cool.
That was pretty good.
Well, that wasn't the finish. That was just them finishing Satnam Singh. Satnam wasn't in the match. That's just how they took out Satnam Singh. That's right.
That's what my brain thought. Yeah, that was a good move because he did a big spot outside with Darby where he just threw him onto the ramp, and that was awesome.
He did, and that was after he caught Darby.
Was that like a Razor's Edge almost?
He
did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a Razor's
Darby
Edge
just ragged out. It was great.
Yeah. He's just I'm just gonna carry you.
that drop that Darby took off that ladder, like the 15-foot ladder, where he's trusting Singh to catch him, and it looked like Singh was too far back or Darby didn't quite make it, and Singh caught him like waist level, and like, Jesus, that would have been really, really, really bad. You are trusting that guy more than any team in the NBA was willing to trust him. Holy cow. And then Sting coming off of the little balcony thing.
Well, that's
Also
what he
was
does
trusting
now.
Satnam Singh to catch him, and he almost went over his shoulder, and Satnam Singh kind of caught him by the knees while Sting was going down head first. And I had to watch that a couple times because I almost saw a childhood friend pass away.
I think we got Satnam is actually a safe guy for now.
I mean, he's a big guy, you know. He's is safe until he isn't.
Yeah, that's usually how the big ones are.
I wouldn't trust him with that. But
how many hearts do we rate
Darby was always going to put his fucking body on the line.
That's just I wouldn't
Darby's
do
crazy.
99% of the things that Darby.
You want to throw me? All right, how about over there? That's just
He's great, and I hope he never gets hurt, but I don't see how he doesn't eventually get hurt.
Yeah.
But he's great. That was just dumb fun. A bunch of cool spots. Also want to point out Darby taking the guitar shot in the middle of his coffin drop.
Yeah.
That was cool. And then he did immediately no sell it, which was less cool, but it was a big dumb match anyways, and he's baby Sting, so he was just doing that. Okay. I gave it 3 1/4 hearts. I was entertained.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that surprising? But again,
Very.
like for that kind of match, it was about as fun as it could get. I had fun. I didn't fast forward any of that big stupid match.
Wow.
None of it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
watched
2.5 on my scale.
I like 7'8" people that can't do anything too, just to exist. Like, I hope they never transition him to being a wrestler.
I mean, we know wants to get rid of him. Or, I'm sorry, TK wants to get rid of him.
Yeah.
No, I like him around.
You fired him.
You fired him.
I mean,
dare you?
I'll trade him back. These are new trades, new day.
We're
He's
not
still on my
trading.
roster.
You cut
He's still
him
on my roster.
That was a cut day. No trade.
They're all fired.
Maybe that match really sold TK to the potential of Satnam Singh's 7 foot.
Seeing him in person sold me.
He's like what is he? 7
something. 7, 7, 7, 7, 8. I don't know.
7'7". Is he 7'7" or is he 6'19"? I don't know.
We're doing that.
He's 7'2".
Is that where we're going?
So
He's
stop.
7'2".
We're going to the interim AEW Women's Championship match between my girl Jamie Hayter and a girl I like, Toni Storm. What'd you guys think?
I loved it. I thought this match was the best of the night. Perfect ending, perfect match. I don't have any complaints about it.
Whoa. Jekski, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I don't have like actual details because I don't like taking notes. But it was nice. The interferences occurred, which I expected to happen. Reba or Rebel, I don't know what her name is.
Reba, not Rebel.
DVD coming out, and we expected Hair to win, but I also felt like the entire time that Toni Storm was going to win because they wanted to push the Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm.
Yeah,
but the right move was to have Hayter win, and we all love Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just going to build on the feud with Hayter versus Britt Baker. So it's a nice ending to that, I think. And the match was fun. I enjoyed it.
Well,
I don't rank anything usually, so that's it for me.
I really loved the first 3/4 of the match, and then the end happened. The whole last quarter of the match was just really, 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 really overbooked. Like, you like false finishes? I got good news. I got like 7 of them for you. You like run-ins? Don't worry, champ. We got those for you too. Um, 2 different run-ins. Like, your run-ins, your interference was bifurcated. First you get the Reba, then you get the DMD. You don't even like tease whether DMD, what's she gonna do. It's just straight up, we're gonna go ahead and interfere. And at some point, you're just leaving your refs out to dry. You're leaving your champ out to dry. Everybody looks stupid. The first interference spot should have ended it. I mean, she got smacked by a belt by Reba. What was it? She got killed by something, and it was just another false finish. And then she took another finisher, false finish. She took her own finisher, false finish.
Yeah.
Hater took a couple finishes, false finish, and then here's another run-in. Why they didn't come out together? I don't know. Just reasons. They just didn't. But we're gonna do one after the other, and all that's gonna happen. And the entire time, Tony Schiavone is just like, I don't know what he's watching. Schiavone was rotten all night, guys. Like, he is kind of like a pet, like Flexo's pet, his Adderall monkey. We know that, but
He's his Michael Cole.
He's worse than Michael Cole, and you know that pains me to say that, because I think Michael Cole is. I mean, well, I don't think I know Michael Cole is a byproduct of my first wet dream. My pants, the underwear I was wearing that night that happened, June 16th, 1964. I couldn't find them. And then guess what? Next thing I know, Michael Cole is there. And what does he look like? He looks like my underwear. But he sounds worse, ironically, because my underwear usually sounds pretty good. Anyways, I digress. The end was overbooked. Schiavone was like literally talking about like, wow, what a great moment. Jamie Hayter really earned it. Like, he said something to that effect, as though she wasn't the heel in the match, as though like the face champ didn't lose to the cheating. Mr. Good Guy Tony Schiavone is just, oh boy, she deserved that one. And it's like, dude, like, do you know what you're doing? Do you just like, well, fuck kayfabe, everybody knows it's fake.
Yeah, sometimes it's on and off.
It's just, but I mean, with Taz, it's always on, you know.
Well,
with Excalibur, it's
yeah.
always on. And Excalibur is pretty lousy there too. Like, dude's limited. He's really good at knowing all the moves and calling the moves,
Yeah.
but he's got his
also in with that crowd that we, you know, he's also sucking on the dick.
Yeah.
So,
but see, Schiavone is awful, and Jim Ross is noticeably slipping too. I mean, he's old and he's going through like a lot of health shit, and obviously, like, even doing a full-time show is too much for him now. So he gets a pass. He's the best announcer of all time. But
glad we've seen him.
Schiavone does not get a pass. He should just do interviews. He shouldn't be in the booth ever. I gave it 2.76 hearts, which it was a 2.5 match, and Jamie Hayter's butt gave an additional 0.26 hearts. So 2.76 hearts for that.
Not too shabby.
We got a tag championship match after that, guys. Part 3 of Swerve in Our Glory Hole versus
the
Part
3 in their not best of 7 match.
Yeah. I wouldn't want them to go best of 7 either, but I'd rather see that than the Elite.
But I mean, we're not going to get a best of 7 because the Swerve in Our Glory is no longer, probably won't be together anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to stay a tag team, but you never know. On Wednesday, they can come out and say it was a misunderstanding and do a Kurt Angle, because Tony seems to pull the Kurt Angle card out of his backpack every feud he needs to flip-flop on. He's like, whatever, you could just be a face this week. You could be a heel this week. I don't know. The match was good. I thought its placement on the card was great, but the Acclaimed was hot when they came out, and Swerve is amazing no matter what he's doing in the ring. So the entire time he's in the ring, the match was great. And then when he would get out of the ring, I would zone out. And then
how cool was his mask when he came out?
Yeah,
that was
everything
weird.
about him is cool.
Yeah,
I want him to be solo. Be a solo badass that just whoops people's asses because you can, and not worry about tag teaming. I hate it. But I don't know. I thought this match was good.
Jax K, what'd you think of the match?
I like the 2 raps from the Acclaimed.
double length
He
wrap.
did get 2, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Match was good. Bowens sold that shoulder injury the entire time. Did a really good job selling that. We got the pliers. This is a throwback to last podcast where Swerve Strickland ruined Daddy Ass's fingers with the pliers. So I'm assuming he just broke them, but he should still be arrested. Daddy Ass came out, almost cost the match. And we got a wide-eyed Matt right now. It's on the Patreon. And I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It sucks that the feud is kind of over, but it needed to be at the same time.
There's so much talent that these feuds need to not drag on for 8 or 6 months or 2 whole pay-per-view cycles instead of just one. Like, yeah, I'm both these 4, all 4 of these people can do new feuds, new people. Acclaimed and Ass Boys, Bearcat Lee can go somewhere else and do some things, and Swerve can do some things. That'll be good.
I thought this one was not nearly as good as the one from All Out, but it was better than the second one where they won the titles at Grand Slam. I was loving it, like really, really, really loving it until the pliers nonsense. I didn't like the timing of that because it seemed like Swerve and Our Glory was doing fine. Like they weren't like down. It wasn't a desperation play. It was just kind of like, where is this coming from? This is insane. And I had to take a break. I had to pause it and walk away for a little bit because I didn't want to fast forward anything. I like these guys too much. And I was feeling really negative about that because it was insane. It just came out of nowhere. But then when I played it again, like instantly Lee reacts exactly as I did. And he's like, this is insane. No, I'm not your partner anymore. And then Swerve hit him, which is what a crazy person would do. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, like if the story is Swerve lost his damn mind, then I can live with him being insane. And
He's
then
New
that
Jack.
led into the finish. So I ended up walking away pretty happy. Not a perfect match, but a solid 3.5 heart championship match.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, even after the plier nonsense, just because of the immediate follow-up where Keith Lee is,
I'm done with this shit.
my thoughts exactly.
Yeah.
No, really, Swerve. Pliers in the middle of a championship match that we're winning. This makes no sense. Yeah.
But I digress.
I digress. Back to catering for me. They're using you, man. You don't need to hang out in catering. I don't need to do anything. Goodbye. And yeah, he's gone. Last match on the card. Should we take a brief break?
Take a quick break
and then be right back. Depending on how you're listening to this, I don't know if you're going to get an advertisement for. Do we have any sponsors at all right now, guys?
Patreon.
Oh, okay. You might get a pre-recorded Patreon subscription, but you probably won't get any commercials. So we will be right back.
One, two, three.
Yeah, we just have the championship match and then the post-credit scene. That's all we have left.
Oh, the post-credit scene.
And that was the end of the pay-per-view.
No scrum.
There was a scrum,
but there was no like fun scrum.
MJF,
no brawl out. There was no brawl gear.
MJF was doing it kayfabe. That was pretty fun.
He does everything kayfabe though, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh, see, you guys watched that? I didn't.
So
I just read about it. I didn't watch it.
Seen tiny clips.
I was gonna say I haven't.
While the scrum was going on, anyways, they had the post credit scene, and that was 2.5 hours. So, well, we're not gonna go through the nitty gritty. Most of it was cutting room floor stuff. 99.9% of it, in fact. But it was what it was. Content is content, right? Championship match, you guys. This was the big one. Mox versus MJF. I think we all were pretty sure that MJF was going to win the title. And I think we were all pretty sure that the little betrayal that happened was going to happen, huh?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
it was kind of it's gonna happen. It didn't take anything away from the match though.
No, it was good. I liked everything about it.
Like MJF when he gets to wrestle is always gonna put on a good match.
Yeah, it's a good story. Saving him for pay-per-views is nice. I don't mind that I don't get to see him every 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then I get to see him do his thing. He's perfect because I get to see him talk in the weeks in between, and he's great at that. Just give him a mic and he's fine. So yeah, this match was good. Mox deserves his break, so I'm happy he actually lost.
It didn't feel like a full-on Mox match either. Oh, apparently it did.
I mean,
Apparently it did.
Mox can wrestle. I mean, people forget that Mox can wrestle like matches and doesn't always just need like blood, guts, and violence and GCW. So
If Mox can wrestle, I wouldn't know based on this match. I thought it was terrible. I gave it 1.5 hearts, and it was all one-sided in its terribleness. Mox looked terrible, first of all. This is a championship match, and he just like looked extra terrible. Like he didn't even bother brushing his teeth when he woke up. He also looked kind of bloaty and just didn't
ready to go.
He didn't look like he wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if he was salty, he was dropping the belt, or if he's relapsed or what. And that's
Or
just
he's
pure
fucking
speculation.
tired.
I think he's ready for his vacation. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he just had a long vacation a year ago, like almost to the day. So
Well, he went to go take one when the Punk situation happened.
I get it. Yeah, he wanted that 2-month-long vacation in a year. I get it. Good living. Good, nice living there. So anyways, I thought Mox just brought the whole thing down. To me, it was just another Mox match. Every chance he got, just the lazy punches, the no sells. At one point, MJF, a little bit ill-advised to do it, but he's trying to do the dusty punches, just where he's going his profile and just like boom, boom, boom. And Mox just no-sold every one. And then he ends it with the big punch to knock him down. Mox goes down, takes the bump, and gets right back up. And it's just like, okay, it's already a cheesy looking move. And then, like, as if the move already doesn't scream, this is showy and fake, Mox is just gonna be like, make sure you know what it is. I'm gonna literally like put my head in it and just make sure everybody knows that you are not making a bit of contacts with me. Like there were times in the match where literally I'm wondering if Mox was trying to make MJF look like shit. He just did not look like he wanted to be there.
Could be, maybe. I didn't think of that, but
and then the last little bit, your little swerve.
I'm happy the Regal swerve
not make sense, but they made it not make sense. They have him come out. And say like, "Don't you do it," because MJF's about to cheat to win the match, and then he doesn't. He puts the ring away or throws the ring because Regal says, "Don't you do it," and then 5 minutes later, he's slipping him brass knucks to do it. So
Which
if this
doesn't make any sense.
If
I'm sure Regal will explain himself, though.
But no, there's no way that you can explain it. It still doesn't make sense. Like you can explain it away with another reason that still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. Like if it was a spur of the moment thing where Regal MJF goes in not knowing Regal's going to betray him, and it didn't seem like that. It seemed like a pre-planned thing. It was how they were trying to sell it.
Yeah.
But if it's not pre-planned, then Regal is like he needs to go get a CAT scan because he might have a brain tumor. Because like 1 minute he doesn't want him to cheat and the next minute he wants him to cheat. Okay, that's just weird and random. Like that's fourth wall breaking, and that you know that you're in a show and an audience is consuming this like that. Okay, but fine, whatever. Yeah, and if he didn't know about it, go ahead, cut in.
No, go ahead.
As if it all was pre-planned, that's even worse because now you got all the firm nonsense. You got every last little piece. And if they try, just like they did with MJF and the Pinnacle, we're like, haha, all of these things, even my failures were all part of the plan. And I was counting on my master plan failing to reveal my real master plan, which was just to have hired a bunch of guys to beat you up. Wait, like what? Huh? what's going on? Like, if this was planned from the start, then the firm stuff makes no sense. You don't need to get there that way. The pretending to be good just makes no sense. The waiting to cash in for the pay-per-view rather than just cleaning up the fixings doesn't make any sense.
Makes
None of
less
it makes
sense.
any sense. Like, they didn't even try to sell it as like, oh, Mox would be crushed if he was betrayed by Regal, or like Mox is going to be psychologically broken by MJ. Like, that wasn't the story. None of this was the story. And maybe that's how they try to pitch it. They try to pitch it like, I wanted to psychologically destroy you, John Moxley. He's already a fucking garbage eating lunatic. Like, that'd be as stupid almost as having a story where someone tries to drive Mick Foley insane. Like, oh, I've driven you nuts, Mick Foley. Soon you'll have split personality. Like, it's stupid. It's bad. It's lazy. I hated it.
But at least MJF's the champion now.
Yeah, I mean the place, the belt is in a better place. The show is in a better place. I didn't like how you got there, but
now we're there. Let's hope he takes it somewhere.
And he will. God, I mean, he will. It'll be good. MJF is great. Everything he does is great. Mox notwithstanding. But I mean, I said that when it was going to be Mox versus MJF, I was looking forward to it, and I said it could be great if Mox wants it to be. And I, honest to God, just don't think Mox wanted it to be. I don't think he gave a shit.
Yeah,
and maybe it's because I don't know how he feels about MJF in real life, but maybe he didn't want to drop the belt. I don't know.
Do we think the BBC club is done now?
Well, I mean, it's got to be. The guy from Blackpool's not in it. Or do they just kick Mox out? I don't see Claudio and DBD and Wheels becoming MJF's bitches.
Yeah. So I wonder if it just breaks apart now and everybody Claudio and Wheeler go back into obscurity, and now Claudio is nowhere to be seen like Miro, and Yuta goes back to being on Dark.
Yuta will be main eventing again.
He'll be back with the best friends for reasons.
For reasons.
We just
like
that's what's gonna happen. Will's like, we don't have anything to do with you. Go with the best friends, but we don't need you anymore. Yeah, you're with the best friends now.
What is the overall rate of this pay-per-view in the heart scale?
I'd give it a 3.
That seems solid.
Maybe a 2.75, 3, something like that. I mean, it was not a bad show. Like, an AEW doesn't really put on bad pay-per-views. There was something for everybody. And you know, like, 13 matches. Like, if you're a big Young Bucks fan and you like the wacky zaniness, like, you're probably not even listening to us unless it's a hate listening, in which case
thank you for listening.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for hating us. If you're into that kind of thing, that match might have been good for you, you know? So there's something for everybody. Pretty stupid, pretty questionable booking decisions, but that's what you get with AEW. And again, it's still better than the alternative. Like, just in case there's like any huge big WWE fans listening, I want to make sure I drive everyone away. Like, your show's got its own problems, buddy. All right, some big boring wooden problems. And
with a rumble coming up though.
Yeah, we do. We love us some Royal Rumble.
Oh, we do love the Rumble.
The Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble.
Oh, God. We need Vince back as an on-screen talent.
He'll come out with number 29.
No chance. That's what you
he's
got.
He's already won one Rumble. That's enough.
He has, yeah.
He's won one more than Chris Jericho.
I was so happy when Vince won that Rumble.
Was that do-rag Vince?
No, it wasn't even. It wasn't even.
It was right?
That was one of the first time he wore like the black shirt with the cut off sleeves.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Where he hid the whole time and beat Stone Cold. Is that the one?
Well, he came out 30, I think.
And yeah,
Stone Cold was jumped. Stone Cold was one of the first two, but he got taken out and then got taken out in a gurney. He came running back out near the end. And then he like outed himself, like trying to go after McMahon, or like McMahon like went down and he went over the rope, and yeah, because somebody else came out to distract him. Oh no, Vince just pushed him. Yeah, he was hanging over the rope, like flicking people off or drinking beer or doing something
Because
that
he thought he
does.
had won.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then McMahon came out, and then
Just
Jerry the
pushed
King,
him.
oh, and yeah, and they did all their stuff that they do. But post-credit scene, you guys, that was insane.
With the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club coming out.
No, with Miro.
Oh, that one.
Where it cuts to Miro in Miami, like out in that like tiki bar on the beach, and he's just like looking at his watch, and he's just like talking to the bartender, and the bartender like looks like he's like pissing his pants scared, and it's kind of that shitty wrestling acting, but whatever. And Miro's just like, I've been waiting here for 24 goddamn hours. I can't drink anymore. This man says he has information on God. Where the hell is he? And then you just see the cigar, and then like it zooms out enough, and you see the fucking mustache, the handlebar mustache. And you hear the voice. You just hear, I heard you looking for God, brother. So I don't know. I don't know if that means that they're bringing him in, but
what have we done?
This could get really interesting. But then, yeah, they had 2.5 hours of just casual conversation. We can't talk about that in the podcast. It's
Patreon only.
Not even. I'm not touching some of the stuff they were talking about.
It's probably not suitable for anyone.
And SFL.
Yeah, it's bad. Not good.
NSFA.
Not good.
Not suitable for anyone.
Not suitable for anyone. Full Gear, though, that's suitable for plenty of people. And this podcast, that's somewhere in between. But another week, another episode of YSATS.
You know, I have our topic for next week.
Oh, nice. Let's get some hot, steamy, sticky topic action.
AEW has been a pay-per-view for 3 years, so let's go with our
it's been a pay-per-view for 3 years?
Company. Our top 5 AEW pay-per-views in the West since they've been a company.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Do we count the All In? Or is that
what? I'm counting named shows. So if they do the Grand Slams, the Arthur Ashes, like AEW, those are basically AEW's in your house pay-per-views. So, you know, if the card's stacked, pick it as your best show. That's basically what I'm saying. I figure it's going to be pay-per-views for most of us, but we've got 3 years of what's your AEW best show, and I feel like most of them will be all-ins, all-outs, pay-per-views, maybe the Arthur Ashes show. You never know, but we got a lot of shows to pick from. There's a decent amount that we've all seen live.
I mean, we have the COVID shows too.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot.
We'll say top 5, but if it seems too hard, we'll narrow it to top 3.
Well, spoiler alert, Forbidden Door is not on my list.
I don't think it'd be on mine either.
It's not. That, you know, that the thing is really funny because like hours before that show started, I you know, it's a 15-minute drive and tickets were selling for $2 in the 300 section. And I still didn't go. And then I didn't regret not going. It was like, hey, I made the right choice.
Yeah, we didn't.
Happiness for $1. I think I'd rather have my dollar. Like, yeah, not worth it. But you know what, it is worth it, this podcast and subscribing to it, whether it's on the YouTube or the Apple Podcasts or the analog digital cassette tape trade that I have on my website
or Spotify.
Are we on Spotify?
I believe we are on Spotify.
Are we on MySpace?
OnlyFans?
Well, you can't get the podcast on OnlyFans.
Says you.
You better not be backdooring this shit while you backdoor that shit.
All I do is backdoor that shit.
Nobody wants that.
Everyone wants that.
Nobody wants. No.
Okay, how can you say nobody wants that when at least 100 people have wanted that that
The
we
back
know
door?
of in the last
The
month.
OnlyFans backdoor?
What?
I'm saying nobody wants the OnlyFans backdoor.
What?
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
our producer has some editing to do, huh? Yeah. Sometimes we spin dog shit into dog gold, but this time it stayed dog shit, I think, on that one.
No.
Yeah.
It's some good shit. It's good shit. It's our shit.
Backdoor shit.
Thanks for being here, folks.
We love you.
Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. We
Like,
are
share,
YSATS.
subscribe. YSATS. Shout it
AEW.
out.
We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter.
Hey,
We're out there.
listen.
And enjoy.
Listen and enjoy our podcast. Bye.
End scene.
Bye.
All right.
We can't go on that, right? We can't.
Yeah, he can cut it. He can cut it where he said.
Our lawyer MAGA says that we shouldn't go out on something like that.
He'll cut it
Okay.
where we just said. Yeah, it's fine. Or you keep this in and it's even more hilarious. If someone's listening to this right now at an hour and X amount of minutes in, they deserve to hear us talk about bullshit. Because it means for some reason they like to hear us talk about bullshit, which means we could talk about bullshit and they'll keep listening. So we'll keep talking about bullshit.
Well, people have to go to bed. Phil has a wife and kids.
He's got work in the morning.
He's got work early in the morning. We can't just talk about bullshit. We gotta go.